There's something's always amiss. Can't put my finger on it, but it's there. Wait for it to subside, but my mind won't apply. Waiting for the clear. Is it bad sometimes? I like it when I lose control. There's something in it that's so beautiful. Listen, I can see the light but I can also see the bones decay. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm doing my best not to run away. Sitting throwing rocks across the pavement, hoping it'll cave in and swallow me whole. Wondering how the world keeps on spinning, kinda scared of living when it unfolds. Hard to see the light when everything is silent, waiting for the clear. Thankful I'm alive, but terrified of dying. But hey, I'm still here. Is it bad sometimes? I like it when I lose control. There's something in it that's so beautiful. Listen, I can see the light but I can also see the bones decay. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm doing my best not to run away.
You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars, but the dark gets lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence. And the dark's all that I see when your stars have burnt out and your heart makes no sound. I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You're the night sky, hiding behind dark gray clouds. I can't figure you out now. I see all blue. There is so much cold in you, and the silence is so loud when you go. I just stay dancing with my shadow all day. Watch the time. I can't find the point where our two paths align. But you're the night sky, I'm trying to see your stars, but I heart makes no sound. I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky.
I get lost inside my thoughts, and when I start to think, oh, the Tahoe closest starts to end up on the brink. I tried so hard, but all these scars, they cut so deep, I bleed. I fell so fast from heaven, it's like someone clipped my wings. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe, and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. I forgive the pain you gave to me so long ago. Sleepless nights I laid awake just begging to let go. I almost got to suicidal thoughts, but you stepped in. An angel sent from heaven showed me how to live again. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe, and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. My love, I'm gone. I need to be strong. The darkness had tried to swallow me. Some things I fall, but I hear your call. I pray I don't hit the ground. Gravity. Gravity.
Baby, wait, I know that you're afraid, but it'll be okay if you just stay with me and we can run from
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 8 of the championship as we make our way to Road America, the 8th round of the season here in the UK and Ireland Radical Championship. I'm your host, Yusuf Milky Cyril Bintel, and I will be providing the commentary over the course of the race. As always, don't forget to get involved through the chat, and we would love to see your messages coming through. You can get involved through the YouTube chat. As I say that, let me open up the YouTube chat on my phone. I like to use my phone as that fourth monitor, essentially. As we say that, drivers starting to make their way out onto circuit to begin qualifying. 3 laps of qualifying, everyone in their own little piece of circuit, in their own mini session effectively. And after they have completed their 3 laps, and everyone has completed their 3 laps, we will then be jumping on in for the race. 16 laps tends to be the proceedings here for the Radical Championship. And the man you really want to be looking out for to take things and take the win is John McCutcheon in the number 12 Radical. It tends to be right up at the sharp end of the circuit. And that is most likely going to be the case again today. As Dominic Langweb has a bit of a spin. I don't think he got too much damage on the car. So let's sit on board then with John McCutcheon. Let's jump on the cockpit as he's making his way down into Canada corner, turn 12. Track pulls to the right before you have to make your way into the left-hander. Oh, sorry, now he's making his way down towards Canada corner. I do apologize. Start a new lap then as you make your way down towards the turn 1. I was right the first time. That was Canada corner. I'm still learning this circuit, just like some of you guys might. My first time here at Road America. Through turns 1, through the kink of 2, and down towards the turn 3. Third gear on the power nice and early. Use up all of the track. Make your way through the kink of a turn 4. Hold the car all the way over to the right-hand side of the track, a minimum distance. So you make your way down into the moraine sweep. And sweep your way down into turn 5, dropping it into second gear. You can use up a lot of the curbing on corner exit. And now under the Corvette bridge and down into turn 6. Make sure to pull the car back over to the left as you make your way through the kink of turn 7. Almost completely flat, has to lift out of it, maybe got an invalidation. Down now through the hurry downs. Turn 8, bit of understeer, misses the apex, pull the car back over to the left as you make your way through the carousel of turns 9 and 10. Long, sweeping right-hand corner. Get back on the power and hope that the front end sticks as you make your way down now towards the kink of turn 11, and it's also called kink. Through Kettle Bottoms. Long straight. A lot of long straights here at Road America. The Americans seem to like their straights. No surprises really. Down into Canada corner. Use up all of the curb on apex and on exit. Through Thunder Valley and up towards the Bill Mitchell bend. Turn 13. Car drags out. Pull it back over to the left as you make your way into the final corner. Turn 14. And important to get a good run here as this is, I believe, the longest straight. The start-finish straight. Make your way up the hill. Road America straight. Start a brand new lap. For John McCutcheon, this lap is it's a 158.2. Still waiting for drivers to complete their first laps. One driver who might be somewhat quick is this man, Paul Clark. Tends to be towards the sharper end of the field, Paul Clark, and actually Paul Crabb is the one that I should be talking about. Paul Crabb in the 64 car. The driver to possibly watch out for is Simon Edwards, who has just pumped in a 158.8, which has been enough to take him to the top of the standings. Actually, P2 in the standings is Dan Webster, who currently leads the proceedings in qualifying with a 158.165, 7/10 clear of the 52 of Simon Edwards. But let's see what Paul Crabb can pull out as he makes his way to the finish line. Will be definitely wanting to get into the 58s. Paul Crabb at a 58.3, 1.5 tenths shy of Dan Webster in the 111 car. What about Graham Brown? He's in the 13 Radical. Trying to read what that says on the front of the car. Turf, I think. Turn. I do think turning is a wise decision when racing. It tends to help a lot. Still waiting for drivers to complete laps. What about John McCutchinson? He's making his way into the Bill Mitchell bend as we speak. Quickly down the gears and into and through turn 14. John McCutchinson, always easily recognisable with that Scottish flag on the front of the car, the hutch, and the purple rear wing, just the all-round silver. 57.2 for John McCutchinson, a second clear of Dan Webster. Well, that is a performance for Dan Webster. He pumps in a 57.5. Let's see what Simon Edwards can do as he makes his way to the start-finish line. 58.8 last time round, and he puts in a 58.0. That jumps him ahead of Paul Crabb. And speaking of Paul Crabb, he's making his way through Canada Corner, through Thunder Valley, and up into Bill Mitchell Bend. Get the car back over to the left for the final corner. Maybe could have used a bit of more curb. You see, there's just that little strip of curbing that you can use on the entry into the final corner. It will just help you open up the steering somewhat. Up to the line then last time round for Paul Crabb, a 58.3. This time a 57.500. And it's enough to jump ahead of Simon Edwards. Sorry, a 5.34. So he's a 300th shy of Dan Webster. And Paul Crabb currently sitting or set to start in the second row of the grid. Two and a half minutes then do remain of qualifying. Let's take a look at how Andrew Hugill is doing as he is making his way through the right hand. I think that is a turn 3 to start his third lap. Andrew Hugill making his way through the long right hand of the carousel and down towards Kink Corner. Aptly named Kink Corner, one should say. For those of you joining in, this is round 8 of the UK and Ireland Radical Championship, and we're here at Road America. Qualifying is about to come to a close. 1.5 minutes remain, and is Dan Webster who leads proceedings with a 57.269. He's pipped John McCutchinson by 0.03 of a second. Paul Crabb might be able to jump the pair of them. He's only 2 tenths behind at the moment, and the cars get quicker and quicker with every passing lap, but it's only a 4.80 for the 64 Radical, and Paul Crabb will have to hold on to his britches and hold on to the P3 spot that he has secured ahead of Simon Edwards. Paul Clark will come across the line with a 58.420. What about Dominic Lang-Webb as he makes his way down into turn 6 under the Corvette bridge? Back on the power. Into turn 7 and through the hurry downs and into turn 8. I think there were some slight issues with frame rate, or just stuttering in general, but that should have improved now. Dominic Langweb currently sitting P8 with a 58.5, and with that, qualifying has come to an end, and we will be jumping in momentarily for the race. Let me know in the chat who you think will take the win. Usually, it's going to be John McCutcheon, but today it seems that Dan Webster is particularly fast. Paul Clark right up there as well. And any of those three could come away with a win. Long straights, a lot of slipstreaming as well. And breaking away from the main pack will probably be rather difficult. But make sure to let me know in the chat who you think is going to take the win. And let me know who you're here to support. If anyone whatsoever. I know we do tend to get a few friends, sometimes even family of the drivers joining us. But it is this man, Dan Webster, lining up on pole ahead of John McCutcheon. Paul Crabb and Simon Edwards make up the second row of the grid, and then it is Paul Clark in the light blue and white Radical, pretty much in the center of your screen. Not anymore, as we get ready to get underway for round 8 of the UK and Ireland Radical Championship. The revs will rise here in America, and we are about to get underway. The clutches drop, and we are off. It's a great start from John McCutcheon, who's going to be pretty much pulling up alongside Dan Webster on the long run down into turn 1. Side by side between Paul Crabb and Simon Edwards on the second row of the grid, but John McCutcheon looks for the outside into turn 1. He's got to hold it round the outside as well. Someone goes shooting off into the distance, and someone else crashes into the wall. Big incident in the background, but it is still Dan Webster who leads from John McCutcheon ahead of Paul Crabb, Simon Edwards, and Paul Clark in P5. And now we're seeing Simon Edwards having a little look on the runner down into the moraine sweep. Nice and late on the brakes from Simon Edwards, but Paul Clark has run wide. He's gone completely off. So has Dominic Langweb. He will rejoin the circuit behind Patrick Charlton down in P8. But a clean start for the top 10. Sadly, the same cannot be said for those further down the order. And you can see quite a one driver in the pits. Andrew Hugill, Stuart Mathers. Thankfully, no real damage seems to have been accrued by those cars, so hopefully they can keep on running nice and smoothly to the end. Dan Webster leads John McCutcheon, Simon Edwards up to P3, and then a bit of a jump down to Paul Clark and Paul Crabb. The two Pauls are battling and duking it out. The two Paul C's duking it out. Mistake from Paul Clark, and Paul Crabb will sweep around the outside, down the cattle bottoms and down into Canada corners. In the background, I think that was Patrick Charlton has gone sideways. No, that's Dave Kirkman. Dave Kirkman's off. A contact between himself and Patrick Charlton. Let's just have a little look as to what happened. I think I've got the wrong person up. Where is Mr. Charlton? Here we go. So, it's just a lock-up from the 27. Patrick Charlton just locks up and goes right into the side of Dave Kirkman. Nothing Dave Kirkman could really do about that one, and I think the blame is entirely on Patrick Charlton there. But Dan Webster still leads, half a second clear of Simon Edwards. Pardon me, half a second clear of John McCutcheon. Simon Edwards a further 7 tenths behind. He's got Paul Crabb looking to hunt him down. Remember, Paul Crabb started in P3, ran wide down into the Moraine Sweep, which is exactly where we find ourselves now. So we'll see whether Paul Crabb runs wide twice in a row. And the answer is no, he does not. Keeps it on the track this time. Good stuff from him. Martin Booker has just gone down the inside of Dave Kirkman, or is this Dave Kirkman coming at Martin Booker? I think it might be the latter. Remember, Dave Kirkman fell down the order recently due to that incident with Patrick Charlton. Dave Kirkman currently running down in P15. To work his way up the order, you can see Chris Kane in 12th, leading this train of 4 cars. None of them seem to have any significant damage to their cars. One of the biggest tells is you look at the rear end of the car where there are those 4 boxes or 4 exhaust boxes, and usually if there is damage to the car, that will be somewhat bent and won't be a perfect rectangle. But looking at all of them, it all seems to be intact. No slanted wings either. Remember, Chris Kane had a very slanted wing at one of the previous rounds this season, but not the case here. Kirkman running a little bit wide on the exit of the left-hander. Left-hander that was for Bill Mitchell Bend, and all in the background, that is Jamie Bird having a huge moment. He saves it, thankfully, as Darrell Taylor is having a look at David Dowson. Dave Dowson on the outside has been passed. Darrell Taylor moves up to P9, but Dave Dowson might not be done yet. They've got Graham Brown on their tail. These three, Dave Dowson. Pardon me, Graham Brown just putting a wheel onto the grass and almost loses the car under braking. Thankfully, though, he keeps it under control as the Fury car closes in onto the 14 of Dave Dowson on the run down into the Moraine Sweep. Too far back to have a look. Graham Brown will just settle for P11. Paul Clark has closed in on Simon Edwards, now just 2 tenths behind, but Dan Webster is absolutely flying right now. Dominic Langweb right on the rear end of Paul Clark, and we might be seeing a move for position momentarily as they make their way through the carousel, through turn 10 and up towards the kink that is turn 11. Langweb right on the rear end of Clark, just getting the slipstream as we make our way through Kettle Bottoms. Langweb looks to the outside, will actually slide behind, doesn't want to go for the move just yet as they get on the brakes down into Canada Corner. Much nice line from Langweb through Thunder Valley and up into Bill Mitchell Bend. You can see that Langweb is clearly quicker, but whether that's because he's the following car is another matter entirely. It's slipstream for Langweb. He pulls to the inside, and Paul Clark will not go defensive. And the move is pretty much done on the run into turn 1. Does Paul Clark want to try to hang this one around the outside? Oh, yes, he does. Never mind, he's going to slot in behind. Good old Caster Cursor coming through, or just plain old Caster being wrong. And for some reason, I now see Stuart Mathers' messages on YouTube, whereas before I couldn't see them. So apologies if people have been sending messages in and I just have not been able to see them. I am looking, but for some reason my phone does not want to update the old YouTube that quickly, it seems. Darrell Taylor is having a look at Dave Dowson, and he's done the move down the inside. Darrell Taylor drops it down to P10. They've got Gavin Marsden just up ahead of them. Gavin Marsden sitting in P8 as usual, sporting the Rothmans Williams livery of old. Let's ride on board then with Darrell Taylor for a bit as we make our way through the carousel. Slight correction mid-corner. Tell you what, Dave Dowson seems to have got a rather decent run. Paul Crabb close to Simon Edwards. We look for a way through. Down the brakes into Canada corner. There are a few battles going on. This battle for P3 between Simon Edwards and Paul Crabb, and then Dave Dowson and Gavin Marsden. Dowson down the inside into Canada, and now Daryl Taylor might have a look down into Bill Mitchell. No, he backs out of it. He slots in behind and holds on to his position. Well, that got very close between the 00 of Gavin Marsden and the 14 of Dave Dowson. Now on the start-finish straight, Daryl Taylor has a great run on a Dave Dowson and surely will sweep past, pulls to the inside, and the Bananas 222 car will look for the move. We've seen drivers try to run side by side, but critically here, Dave Dowson has slipstream from Gavin Marsden, but down the inside goes Daryl Taylor nonetheless, and Taylor moves up to P9. Gavin Marsden now has to do the exact same defence, but against Daryl Taylor instead of Dave Dowson. In the background you can see Martin Bucket and Chris Kane, and then Simon Maltby has a Dave Kirkman right on his rear end as they make their way down towards the Moraine Suite. Kirkman looks for the inside down into turn 5. Late on the brakes, Kirkman up into P13. Simon Maltby could have a look on corner exit. He is rather close, but not quite close enough as they make their way into turn 6 and 7. Daryl Taylor all over the rear end of Marsden, runs right into the back of him, and Marsden is off into the gravel, Taylor into the grass, and dearie me, well, I don't quite know if that was a bit early on the brakes from Gavin Marsden or if it was Daryl Taylor who made a mistake. He's made another mistake as he's run into the side of Simon Maltby. Car's coming across track and he's got to spin that around, and it's all gone horribly wrong for the 222 car. Ran into the back of Gavin Marsden. We saw it happen, and usually in those situations it's the fault of the car behind. I'm sure, though, Daryl Taylor will say Gavin Marsden braked too early. Gavin Marsden will say I braked at the normal point. Daryl Taylor should have seen that coming and should have braked a little bit earlier than he usually would to avoid running into the back of me. As Dave Dowson has just made a mistake and lost a position to Martin Booker. And he's got Chris Kane hot on his hind. And Chris Kane will look for the inside in the 69 Radical. Not going to be much that Dave Dowson can do about this. Chris Kane, well and truly ahead, pulls back over to the racing line on the run down into turn 1. Lap 6 of 12. We're practically halfway through the race, and John McCutcheon is halfway past Dan Webster, and indeed he is fully past Dan Webster as he sends it down the inside into the Moraine Suite. But Dan Webster not done yet, looking to come back through down into 6, has to slot in behind. John McCutcheon holds on to the lead of the race. The race lead that he has just gained. Remember, it was Dan Webster who took a pole, and it has been Dan Webster leading every lap of the race up until this point, where now John McCutcheon leads. The man who took the win last time out, the man who has more wins than anyone else in the UK and Ireland Radical Championship. And he's showing exactly why the pace of this man is phenomenal. Further down the order, James Child is closing in onto Andrew Hugel for P15. We don't always get to see the battles further down the order, but this might be a rare occasion where we can wander further down the field. But actually, here comes Dan Webster and John McCutcheon, not quite close enough to go for a send down into turn 1. Dan Webster will have to be patient a while longer. Down into turn 3 they go. Still McCutcheon from Webster. And there is Paul Crabb trying to close back in, trying to join the party. Into Moraine Suite they go. John McCutcheon using a whole bunch of track, and he's lost the rear end. He's run wide. Is this an opportunity for Webster to get through? No, Webster makes a mistake as well as they make their way down into turn 6. Still McCutcheon from Webster. Paul Crabb and Simon Edwards are not too far behind. Switching, Patrick Charlton taking a look at Paul Clark, swelling in behind for now, a 10th shy of the 24 car. This is where we would really like to have a few different camera angles. Paul Crabb within a second of Dan Webster, and it's pulled over a second ahead of Simon Edwards, and this two-way battle for the race lead is soon going to turn it into a three-way battle. Paul Crabb is showing his pace here at Road America. Dan Webster has a think around to the outside through the Kettle Bottoms and down into Canada Corner. Still McCutcheon from Webster. Through the final corner we go. The top three separated by just 1 second. Dan Webster has a slipstream, but does he have enough of an overspeed to look for the move? We start lap 8 of 12 here at Road America. Dan Webster holds station for now. Patrick Charlton having a look down the inside of Paul Clark. And that is into turn 3. Not able to find a way through just yet. So now they're into turn 3. But Dan Webster again going down the inside. McCutcheon taking his very wide entry into turn 5. And Dan Webster says, thank you very much. If you're going to leave the door that open, I'll just have to take the position. Webster leads once again here at Road America in the UK and Ireland Radical Championship. I wonder how much of a go Paul Crabb is fancying right now. Through the carousel. Webster from McCutcheon from Crabb. Remember, Paul Crabb started P3, made a mistake on the opening lap there, down into turn 5, and dropped down to P4, P5, and has worked his way back up since that moment in time. McCutcheon looks for the outside down into Canada Corner as Webster goes defensive. Dan Webster holds on to the position, and I tell you what, Paul Crabb is going to be having an excellent view of this battle unfolding right in front of our eyes. Right in front of his car as well. Through the final corner, not the best of runs from Paul Crabb. He tries to get a late apex, just struggles to find the grip offline. Oh, look at this closing speed from Paul Crabb. Oh, cheeky little lift as well. McCutcheon slots in behind Webster. Not going to go for a move just yet. Simon Edwards, 1.5 seconds behind these three. Patrick Charlton still on the rear end of Paul Clark, unable to find a way through as they make their way through the kink of 2, down into 3. Again, look at the closing speed from Paul Crabb. He's got a slightly different setup, a bit more top end to the car. You really see him closing in the latter parts of the straight. Seen the rear end of John McCutcheon's car. Chill, it's a long race. Well, there isn't a lot of time left, John. Just over 3 laps remaining. Comes to about 6 minutes. And now is the point where you need to start hurrying up the pace and start getting a move on. Simon Edwards, last time round, a 58.3. 4 tenths quicker than John McCutcheon, 2 tenths slower than Paul Crabb. So Simon Edwards is technically closing in, at least on John McCutcheon. Maybe not on Dan Webster and Paul Crabb as they make their way down into Canada Corner for the 9th time in the race. Paul Mitchell bend down into turn 14 once again. Is Paul Crabb close enough to go for a move again? Look at that closing speed, and this time Paul Crabb will look to the inside. John McCutcheonson's got nowhere to go except really late on the brakes. Somehow John McCutcheonson holds on to the position. That was incredible defending. How he got onto the brakes that late and did not run off circuit, I do not know. He was boxed in between Dan Webster and Paul Crabb. Somehow he managed to hold on to the position. Paul Crabb closes in on the run down into the Moraine sweep, down into turn 5. Well, Paul Crabb couldn't get it done into turn 1. He can't get it done into turn 5 either. And all of this is playing into the hands of Dan Webster, who has now extended his gap to 0.6 of a second. So they make their way into turn 7, through the Hurry Downs, and into turn 8. Lap 10 of 12 here at Road America, round 8 of the UK and Ireland Radical Championship. Dave Dowson's just had a moment. Was there an incident with Chris Kane? No, he's just lost the rear end and slammed it into the wall. And what just happened there? Well, that was Darrell Taylor, I do believe. No, never mind. I'm not quite sure who that was, but someone just had a rather big moment. So we've seen 3 people in a row spinning through the exit of turn 5. Sorry, through turn 6. 5. Come on, Melky, I'm better than that. John McCutcheonson looking closer than he has done in a while to the rear end of Dan Webster. Is that close enough to go for a move? We start the penultimate lap of the race. And John McCutcheonson has a look on the run down into turn 3. Is he close enough? He's close enough to make Dan Webster leave him space on the inside. And Paul Crabb is just going to slot in behind. And who does he want to stick behind? He's going to stick behind Dan Webster. Could give him a cheeky little bump. No. Oh, dabbing on the brakes is Dan Webster. Always dangerous. Paul Crabb tucks in behind John McCutcheonson, who's now going to give slipstream over to Dan Webster. Down into turn 5 they go. And McCutcheonson leads from Webster, from Paul Crabb. Simon Edwards a further 1 second behind. Paul Crabb, slight lock up it down into turn 6. Able to recover through turn 7, through the Hurry Downs and into turn 8. McCutcheonson leads. 1.5 laps remain here at Road America. And what does Dan Webster have left in the tank? The two of them have pulled away from Paul Crabb, and this is going to be a 2-horse battle, you have to feel, for the race win. Under the Henry Bridge and down into Kink Corner they go. Dan Webster is close. He looks for the outside through the Kettle Bottoms, which will turn for the inside into Canada Corner. And Webster reclaims the lead. Fantastic battling between the pair of them. And all the while, Paul Crabb just sitting behind, just waiting, hoping for a mistake that he can capitalize on. Down into turn 14 for the penultimate time tonight. And Dan Webster leads from John McCutcheonson and Paul Crabb. As we start lap 12 of 12, the final lap of the race. Webster, McCutcheonson, Crabb all within a shout of taking the race win for round 8 of the UK and Ireland Radical Championship. And it's McCutcheonson who has a little nosy to the inside. Slots back in behind Webster as they make their way through a turn 1. Simon Edwards a further 1.2 seconds behind. Into turn 3 they go. The gap between Webster and McCutcheonson, less than 0.2 of a second, and McCutcheonson is tucking right in behind Dan Webster. Pulls to the outside on the run, down into the Moraine sweep, down towards turn 5. Paul Crabb wants to get involved as well. Could try to make it 3 abreast. Looks for the inside, decides against it. Oh, contact! 3-man contact, and that is a huge incident that was all started by Paul Crabb. And it's Simon Edwards who is now scot-free. And let's just take a little rewind at that, because that was entirely Paul Crab's fault. And you can see on the rundown, contact hits Dan Webster, sends him into John McCutcheon. Paul Crab, credit to him, he stops the car and he lets the other two rejoin the circuit in front of him. He knows that was his mistake, but Simon Edwards is scot-free, and out of nowhere, Simon Edwards is going to take the win. Dominic Langweb tucks in behind Paul Crab and could have an outside chance of taking P4. Damage turned off for this round of the UK and Ireland Radical Championship. Dominic Langweb searching for a way through as they make their way through Kettle Bottoms and down towards Canada Corner. Crab goes defensive. Langweb looks for the inside of Kettle Bottoms, which turns to the outside of Canada Corner, and he's going to hold it around the outside the long way through. Dominic Langweb up to P4. Still a chance though for Paul Crab to come back into this race. It could be a drag up to the line, but it's Simon Edwards takes his first win in the championship. And we said it might fall his way, and it did exactly that. Dan Webster will claim P2, John McCutcheon P3, and Dominic Langweb takes P4 ahead of Paul Crab, who is the man who caused the incident down into turn 5. Patrick Charlton takes P6 ahead of Paul Clark in P7. Chris Kane in a lonely P8 ahead of Martin Booker in the 72 car. Dave Kirkman down in P10 ahead of Jamie Bird in P11. Gavin Marsden will take P12 ahead of Darrell Taylor. I wonder if there was a bit of an incident between the two of them into that final corner. Well, that is not something I ever expected to see, but Darrell Taylor doing a bit of a pirouette at the end of the race. And there you have it. The end to, well, a rather thrilling Road America race. We're going to be jumping in to the interview, and we'll wait and see if anyone does want to join us. It would be nice to hear from at least the three involved in that incident, as holy mother of God. What did I just witness? Wow. Eat bananas. Eating some air as well. That was some serious airtime for Simon Edwards. So let's get on board with Simon Edwards for that one, shall we? Wow. Okay, so we're on board with Simon Edwards. We're upside down. And a certain someone decides, you know, let's help Simon Edwards get the right way round. See, that's it. Just trying to get Simon Edwards to be on his wheels. Beautiful. Absolutely splendid stuff we're seeing from, I can't remember who that was who careened into him. It's the 39. Wait, no, it wasn't the 39. The 39 was already there. Wow. Ah, it was the 222. I thought so. It's the 222 of Darrell Taylor. Just look at that. Wow. Serious airtime going on. And look, still in perfect condition. Simon Edwards, this car is absolutely unbreakable. It's the Nokias. It's the Nokia phone of cars. Paul Clark is still around the track somewhere, doing some celebratory laps. Let's see if anyone does join us. Okay, so no one is joining us for interviews at the moment. Usually we do it at around this time. So hopefully people will eventually join us. While we're here, might as well give a quick shout out and a thank you to our sponsors over at HPE Automotive and Hi-Fi Lounge. Incredibly grateful for their partnership. Links to both of our partners can be found in the YouTube description. Hi-Fi Lounge, I can't quite remember what they do. I think they do stuff related to sound, and HPE Automotive, I know that they do work on cars. So if you do need patch up your car, maybe get a bit of an upgrade, make sure to check out HPE Automotive. And Mr. Paul Crabb has joined us. So, Paul, what happened down into turn 5?
I kind of break myself a bit and collected Dan, who collected John. So major red face on my part.
We were going into the last lap, and I was saying, "Oh, look at Paul. He's just sitting behind. He's waiting for a mistake to happen." But you helped the mistake happen. In fairness to you, you did let both of them pass as well.
Yeah. As soon as I sat and waited, as soon as I knew they could get going, I followed on because it's the only fair thing to do.
And then you had a bit of a battle as well in the final couple of corners with, I forget who, I think it was Dominic Langweb. How's that?
Actually, I didn't realize he was there until going down the straight, and I thought, oh, here we go. And so I didn't defend too hard, because I just made a major boo-boo. I didn't want to follow up with another one. So, yeah, but it was good around the outside on his part. He kept it there.
Well, Paul, thank you very much for joining. Actually, I might as well ask as well, how was the race up until that point? Because you were slowly catching up to those two kind of lap after lap after lap, and it looked like you had some good pace.
Yeah, good pace. I could easily stay with them, and I wanted to draft down the middle of the two of them down the straight, but they just wouldn't open up the gap. So, So I was hoping to. I don't know who was going to turn out in first, but I was hoping to be there, hopefully, but didn't work out.
Well, Paul, thank you for joining. We're going to move on to our race winner, Simon Edwards. Do you kind of fancy yourself as a Moses because the Red Sea kind of parted for you on that last lap?
Yeah, it was my only hope. Anyway, I've already PayPal'd Paul there.
I owed Simon a favour.
So yeah, I just couldn't stay in the. I just didn't have the front grip when I was in the draft with them, so I just ate my tyres after about 2 laps. So I was just hanging on at sort of 1.5 seconds behind them, where it wasn't too bad. But I didn't feel like I was going to get any further forward other than if that happened. And it happened.
Well, at the very worst, you were running in P4, which is a decent result nonetheless. Did you particularly enjoy the circuit?
Yeah, I love the circuit. I got frustrated with this car around it because I just can't get rid of the understeer, just with my driving style. So, it was frustrating me from that point of view, but I love this circuit actually in most cars.
Well, Simon, congrats on your race win. Your first, I think, of the season.
Yes, I think so.
Well, congrats on your first win, and go and celebrate it, and we look forward to seeing you back again next week.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Milky. See you.
No worries. We'll move on to John. John, we'll get onto that last lap incident in a bit, but you seem to be having an almighty battle with Dan, and you two were switching positions every single lap.
Yeah, it was a good race. Enjoyed that. Despite what happened in the last lap, it was still a good race.
And going on to that last lap then, did you see the incident happening before it did, or did you just feel the shunt?
No, I didn't feel it till I was almost upside down. I knew they were both on my inside, but I was leaving them room. But these things happen. Close racing.
It was close racing. Also, the first time that we haven't really seen you, I think, taking pole, it got pipped away from you right at the end. How close was it in terms of pace between yourself and Dan?
Yeah, me and Dan DDI to break again, I think. He stole my pole position off me. I had it on the third lap. I was quarter of a second up and I lost it in the last corner, but good lap from Dan.
How was the kind of slipstream here? Because we know at certain tracks that you get huge slipstream trains and, you know, it's better to be in P2 going into the last lap. Was that the case here at Road America?
Yeah, you're always going to get that extra toe, but Paul seemed to be really quick. I don't know if he was maybe running the medium gear setup, because he seemed to catch it really, really quick on this straight.
Well,
No, I was on the standard setup with 0 wing, pretty much.
You seemed really fast on this straight compared to me and Dan.
I had lowered the car right down. I'd lowered it right down as far as I could. That might have helped.
In
Sneaky.
fairness, I did mention that on broadcast because Paul looked like an absolute rocket on the straights. I mean, John, you were kind of closing up to Dan a little bit on the straights, and Paul was just catching it by so much more.
Yeah, I know, that's why I thought he did a different setup, a different gear ratio, but there you go.
Well, at the very end, John, you managed to claim P3, and I guess a fun race nonetheless, even though it didn't end how you would have wanted it to.
Yeah, definitely. It was good.
Well, John, cheers for joining. Actually, I just want to go back to Simon Edwards, if you're still here, Simon. After the race, you seem to have got a lot of airtime, courtesy of Daryl Taylor giving you a right old thwack.
Yeah, I don't know if he's the one who turned me over onto my roof while I was doing. Yeah, I was doing my nice donuts, and suddenly I'm in VR in the airship somewhere.
I blame Paul Crab.
I don't know if Daryl turned you upside down, but when you were upside down, Daryl was the one who set you back the right way around, let's say.
Oh, that's okay then. Yeah, if he's the one that sent me up and then the one that sent me back, then that's good.
Well, to all of you, thank you very much for joining, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.
Thanks again, Milky.
Thanks, Milky.
Ladies and gents, that's all that we have time for round 8 of the UK and Ireland Radical Championship. We'll be back next week, same time stream starting at around 8:30, 8:35 p.m. UK time. So make sure to put it in your diaries or just drop a subscription to the YouTube channel so you'll get the notification when we do go live. If you are interested in any of my other commentary work, you can find me on Twitter at Milky073. Thanks again to Hi-Fi Lounge and HPE Automotive for supporting the stream.